UFC 300 is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, we're going to go through the entire card, and I'm going to be talking about my favorite prop bets, and along with it, I'm also going to be talking about the fighters that I would like to see win, because if you guys follow the channel, typically, what I've been doing with these full card breakdown videos is also adding props to it, taking a look at the odds, and talking about which fighters within the breakdowns that I would personally like to see win. And I didn't get to do that with the first UFC 300 video. By the way, go check out that video. It's phenomenal. I went so deep into each and every single one of these fights. So I'm just going to take this video, add what I think about the props, what I think about the fighters themselves, who I want to win, and I would love to know what you guys think down below. Afterwards, hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels. Let's start off the card with Davidson Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt. So, obviously, guys, this isn't necessarily any big news to anybody. I personally think that Davidson Figueiredo is going to finish Cody Garbrandt. You know what? I'd be very interested because I'm recording this video actually on Monday. For those of you who don't know, I just had a kid, so I've been prepping a lot of these videos. I am curious to see the odds for this to go over 1.5. Again, if you follow the channel, you might know that I am a big fan of over 1.5 rounds. I'd be interested to see the odds on that. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's something to take into consideration. But ultimately, I do believe that Davidson Figueiredo is going to come in. He's going to chin Cody Garbrandt. People talk about Cody Garbrandt's recent wins, but they're nothing to write home about, and he's just going to lose like he did against Kai Kara-France and Rob Font, except I believe he's going to get finished. So it's unfortunate for Cody Garbrandt, but as to see like who I would really like to see win, honestly, guys, I don't really care about Cody Garbrandt. I'm not a fan of his, and I am a fan of Davidson Figueiredo, so that's pretty easy for me to choose. I would like to see Davidson Figueiredo end up getting the win here. Now, let's move on to the next fight, because I want to talk about Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. Guys, this is a very interesting fight. Now, for props, I don't really like anything really. Like, you could consider like a knockout on the side of Bobby Green, but what I worry about is Bobby Green taking the damage that he did against Jaylen Turner just 4 months ago. Just 4 months ago, he got pounded. He was out getting absolutely destroyed. Finishes like that is where a guy in his career never really comes back the same. So I'm not even sure what kind of Bobby Green's going to show up. Other than that, though, Jim Miller, he's been looking fantastic. He's been looking absolutely fantastic. The only way I'd have a problem seeing like playing anything beside like Jim Miller by submission, Jim Miller by finish. I don't really think that's going to happen. I don't mind the decision on here, but the reason I'm going to stay away from it personally is because Bobby Green just got finished. I don't think it's a good idea to play anything like that. But as for who I hope win the fight, guys, I am a huge fan of Jim Miller. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Been watching him since I got into the whole UFC MMA game, started training myself. Jim Miller has always been one of those guys as an inspiration. Plus, he won at UFC 100, 200. I would love to see him get the win at UFC 300. Let's move on to the next fight, though. Jessica Andrade, Marina Rodriguez. This is an interesting one because, as I spoke about in my full card breakdown, we got to worry about what kind of Jessica Andrade is going to show up. But in reality, Jessica Andrade has been finished in 3 of her 5 most recent fights. In her last fight, she kind of looked like a return to the Jessica Andrade that once was, but at the end of the day, she's still very inconsistent. Marina Rodriguez is a phenomenal striker for the division. I could see Marina Rodriguez getting a finish here. For me personally, I am likely going to play the over 1.5 rounds on this with consideration that like this may not take place. I just, more often than not, the women's fights end up going over 1.5, so I don't mind that myself. Other than that, the only thing, I don't think Jessica Andrade can finish Marina Rodriguez. I don't know why. I just don't. Gut feeling on that one. I think the opposite is quite possible. Marina Rodriguez to finish Jessica Andrade. That's something to take into consideration. For as who I hope to win, I don't care. Let's keep going, though. Let's keep going to Jaylen Turner versus Renato Moicano. One play that I actually really do like for this is Jaylen Turner to get a finish. I don't like the play enough to play it because I'm not going to. I am strongly considering Jaylen Turner as a play just in general to pick, but he is a big favorite. Like, I've been thinking about it more often. Like, this fight I've been back and forth on a little bit, and the more that I'm thinking about it, the more that I do like the side of Jaylen Turner. Renato Moicano has gotten a win in his last fight, but he didn't look good. He was getting hit so much against Drew Dober, man. He was getting hit so much. If Jaylen Turner hits you the way that Drew Dober was hitting Renato Moicano, I could see Jaylen Turner getting a finish. But then again, we've seen Jaylen Turner controlled on the ground. The only prop that I do like for this one is Jaylen Turner by finish. I don't think Moicano can submit him. I don't think Moicano can get a knockout. I don't know, man. That's tough. Even 1.5 is risky on this one. But for as who I hope wins this fight, I do like Renato Moicano. I'm a fan of him. I like Jaylen Turner as well, but Renato Moicano, man, he's just so much fun to watch fight. Now, let's keep going on to the next fight. One that I really, really am excited for. Sodiq Yusuff, Diego Lopez. When you have two fighters as tough as these guys, because something that I believe everybody is doing right now is vastly underrating Sodiq Yusuff. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. When you have two guys that are as tough as Sodiq Yusuff and Diego Lopez and as skilled as these two are, more often than not, I believe that these fights end up going over. So for this, I am strongly considering doing over 1.5 rounds. Again, I'd have to take a look at the odds on there. That's something that I am keeping in the back of my head, though. Other than that, something just maybe does not go the distance. It's so tough, man. These guys are going to walk in. They're going to have a firefight. I'm very, very excited for this card. Honestly, out of the entire card, this might be one of the fights that I'm most excited for. But guys, as for who I hope wins, man, it's such a problem because I like Sodiq Yusuff a lot. But I have to cheer for Diego Lopez, man. The dude has just been incredibly, incredibly exciting. He's been insane. I would like to see him get the job done personally. But let's continue on to the next fight, that being Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison. Now, this one's interesting. This is tough. This is tough. Guys, I actually don't mind the chances for Holly Holm just because Kayla Harrison hasn't made 135. We don't know how her chin's going to be. We don't know how she's going to be in general. She's going to be sick. She's going to be ill. Skill for skill, Kayla Harrison should steamroll this girl, okay? But I don't mind Holly Holm's chances just because of the horrible, horrible weight cut that Kayla Harrison's going to have to go through. I'm interested to see what Holly Holm by knockout is. I know she's old. I know she's past her prime, and I know at this point she kind of sucks. I'm very tempted because of how Kayla Harrison is going to go through this weight cut. Other than that, I'm not even confident this fight's going to go over 1.5 rounds. I think that Kayla Harrison can finish Holly Holm. If she shows up anything like she typically is, she's probably going to finish Holly Holm. And that's not to say that Kayla Harrison's like some crazy, awesome fighter. She's not. It's just Holly Holm is no longer the Holly Holm that busted into the UFC and destroyed Ronda Rousey. Guys, and for this fight, I don't really care who I like to see win. But for a prop, I don't mind Holly Holm by finish. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Let's continue on, though. Let's continue on to another fight that I'm very excited for. Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling. I love the over 1.5 on this. Aljamain Sterling has a way of slowing down fights. Calvin Kattar's never really a guy who comes in there and wants to absolutely destroy you. He's a great boxer, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he'll be really laid back. He'll be picking his shots. Aljamain Sterling will go for the takedowns. I don't think Aljamain Sterling's going to get the takedowns, and I really like this fight to go over 1.5 rounds personally. Even maybe a decision, but I wouldn't put it that much. I just have questions. Yeah, I got to worry about a guy like Aljamain Sterling's chin after that, but I think that Aljamain Sterling will be okay personally. Let's continue on to Yuri Prochazka, Alexander Rakic. I forgot to talk about who I hope wins. I like to see Calvin Kattar get the job done. I think he's an underrated fighter, a very underappreciated fighter. I mean, you could argue that Aljamain Sterling is as well, but people are coming around to him. I like this. I'd like to see Calvin Kattar get the job done. Now, Yuri Prochazka, Alexander Rakic. You got to worry. Like I said so many times in this video, Yuri Prochazka just got finished. Always got to worry in that sense. But as much as it hurts to say, I don't mind Rakic by finish. Yuri just got finished. Yuri's too chaotic. Rakic is a very, very technical fighter, and I can see it. He's so big, so powerful for the division. I think he could finish Yuri, but I don't like it enough to put a bet on it. Not even 1.5 rounds. For props on this one, I'm not touching myself. I don't like a prop for this fight, but for who I hope wins, guys, oh man, it's tough because I do like both guys, but I am such a Yuri Prochazka fan, and I would not like to see him get 2 losses in a row. That would just really, really hurt. But guys, before we get into the next fight, I do want to promote the channel membership for a moment. It won't be long. Just skip like 30 seconds if you want to hear. I'm going to have so many bets going on this weekend. If you're interested to see my official plays, my official bets, and my confidence levels, I'm going to be explaining everything in case you'd like to tail, support the channel, whatever it may be. Check out the channel membership. You can see it right under the subscribe button, right next to the subscribe button, or in the pinned comment. You can find it all over the channel. Also, if you're interested in checking out Odds Jam, it is an incredible, incredible betting tool. If you are interested in hardcore betting, if you have different sports books, Odds Jam can really help you out. Check out the link in the description and the pinned comment down below again and use code Clenbat when you go to sign up, you will get a discount. But other than that, if you're interested in seeing my official picks, my official plays, my official bets, and again, I will be explaining all of them in a members-only video. Sign up. Very, very cheap compared to other channels. We are typically very safe, and we crushed last weekend. You can check out the betting recap video if you were interested. We only lost one bet out of how many we placed. I don't know. Placed a lot of bets. Only one of them lost, which is very, very great. And I'm excited for UFC 300, guys. Let's continue on to the next fight. Bo Nickel, Cody Brundage. Keep your money away from this fight. Cody Brundage can mess up so many of your parlays, but as for what should happen, I don't mind Bo Nickel by finish. I don't mind it, but I'm sticking far away from that one. No way Cody Brundage is losing another one of my bets. If anything, bet on Cody Brundage by slam finish. I don't know. But honestly, guys, for who I hope win, I am not a Bo Nickel hater. I don't like that this fight's on the main card. I hate it, but I really, really like Bo Nickel as a guy. I suggest for those of you who are just kind of hopping on the bandwagon and really disliking Bo Nickel, it's not his fault the UFC put him on the main card. I like him as a guy. He's a really chill dude. He's very respectful. I like him a lot. So I would like to see Bo Nickel get the win here. But let's continue on through the main card. Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan. Guys, I don't mind Charles Oliveira by finish. I don't. For round lines, I'm not playing it at all. But I'm sick and tired of doubting Charles Oliveira. Doubted him against Poirier. Doubted him against Gaethje. The dude goes on and finishes them. Doubted him against Beneil Dariush. I picked Beneil Dariush in that fight. I'm done doubting him. Charles Oliveira can finish Arman Tsarukyan, and I don't mind the chances that he does at all. And guys, honestly, I'm a fan of both guys. For who I want to win this fight, I'm a fan of both of them. It's sad that one of these fighters have to lose, but it's just so cool to see Charles Oliveira get the win. I would like to see him get the title back. That would be incredibly fun. So I'm going to be cheering for Charles Oliveira in this fight. Now, Justin Gaethje, Max Blessed Holloway. I'm interested to see what the over like 2.5, 3.5 round points are. I'm a big 1.5 round guy. That's something that I'm incredibly interested in playing myself. Other than that, I think this fight can go to a decision. I'm a little bit worried, like so many people have been talking about throughout the entirety of this card. I'm a little bit worried that the Tony Ferguson effect will happen to Max Holloway, where Gaethje will just crack his chin, then we'll see Max Holloway going, I think that's an incredible possibility, but I think Max Holloway will be a little faster. I think he's filling into the division nicely. I could see Justin Gaethje winging a hook, Max Holloway coming back in with 3 punches. I could see Max Holloway coasting his way to a decision. For a round line, both guys, incredibly tough. I don't think Justin Gaethje can finish Max Holloway. I think he's tough enough. So I do like playing round lines. I think you're getting really, really touchy if you're going like over 3.5. I think 1.5, 2.5 at the max personally. But if the odds are enticing enough, I might throw something on decision. Who knows? But other than that, I do like Max Holloway for a decision. I don't think it's a safe bet. I think you're better off with your money staying away from this fight. But as for who I hope wins this fight, guys, I'm a fan of both guys, but I love Max Holloway. I would love to see him get the win. Love to see him get the BMF title. I would love to see him get a fast track to the top of the lightweight division if he wants to stick around in it, because he has been through murderer's row, that guy. Well, I mean, Gaethje has to, but I like Holloway. Let's talk about the co-main. Weili Zhang, Yan Xiaonan. 5-round fight. Weili Zhang has been using wrestling recently. I don't mind the round line on this at all, but it'd have to be good odds, because the possibility is there for Yan to find a finish. She could clip Rose. She has the power. I don't think she's going to, though. Weili can finish Yan as well, but my point being, I don't mind the round lines for this one. I don't mind the decision lines for this one, but this is playing with your money a little bit, in my opinion. It would have to be good odds for me to really dive into that. Other than that, women's fights, you're typically safe with over 1.5 rounds, and that's something that I'll probably play myself. And for who I hope wins this fight, guys, Weili Zhang all day. We love to see Weili get the win. I want to see Weili get the dub. We love Weili Zhang. Let's go, Weili. Get the job done. Now, let's talk about the main event, guys. Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill. I've been on the side of Alex Pereira. I'm still on the side of Alex Pereira. I just saw a video of Jamal Hill still not really in the best shape. That worries me a lot for Jamal Hill. And guys, I like Jamal Hill. The potential for Jamal Hill to get a finish here is very live. And over the course of 5 rounds, I could see a finish happening. So I really don't mind that it does not go the distance. Other than that, I would stay away from this one. If you want to, again, over the course of 5 rounds, seeing a finish, that one I don't mind. But I could see a round 1 finish, round 2 finish. I don't even like to bet Alex Pereira by finish, even though I think Alex Pereira is going to get the win here. It's just 2 really, really dangerous fighters. That's the problem. That's the problem there. So this one, I would pick just a winner, but that's obviously not a prop. For prop, I like does not go the distance, but for who I hope wins this fight, I really like both guys. But at the end of the day, Glover Teixeira is one of my favorite fighters, and I got to cheer for Glover Teixeira's gym. So I hope Alex Pereira gets a job done. Like both guys, though, I'm not on the Jamal Hill hate train like so many other people are, but guys, let me know if there's any other prop bets that you like down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. Check out the full card breakdown on screen right here. We would love to have you there. Take care, guys.